Good morning, good morning, happy Thursday. This video is a continuation of the past videos, especially the one on Monday about the portals, okay? So if you just tune in and you have no idea what I'm talking about, I recommend that you watch that one first, because today is about the journey within this portal. But as I was sharing, like Gänush and I shared, good morning, everybody. On Monday, the portals are open for us and how you can actually access them, because we've talked about Monday about the intention. Intention is the access point. So now some of you are actually traveling, and if you haven't felt that, that's totally okay. Sometimes when you are very sensitive, you feel that. So let's go into this journey a little bit before we get into like the sensations of it. So okay, now that like the intention has been set, and again, refer back to Monday's video if you don't know what I'm talking about. But as the portals are open and the intention is there, the intention is the one that links the portal with your current portal, being your being, what you see as the physical body that is more than just that. And so now that it's actually identify and linked together, this is when the traveling happens, okay? This is where the journey begins. So the space in between the portals, the space where things are continuing to shed, but not in the way that was shedding prior to actually hopping into this journey, as if passing the threshold, but in a way that anything that is not, so let me just give you a little visual, okay? Imagine that, and doesn't mean that you were low or high, it's just like so you can actually see. Imagine that the portal where you were before, prior to hopping into this new adventure, right? It was right here. And now, so the other portal, as you merge with it, it was right here. So there's this transition, this period of like the journey to actually be fully, it's almost like when you travel from here to Italy. I'm in the States. So when you travel from the States to Italy, like you don't go like this, right? You have many like stops in between. If you do, sometimes it's a straight from the States to Italy, depending on which city you're going in. So it's the same thing, the period time, that transition time. So as you're actually moving from the place that you were in to the new place, to the new version of yourself with higher vibrations being like the key points right here. Hello, sweetheart. Now, like whatever it is that is still in you that is not vibrating at the same level of where you're heading is going to shed, In a way, it's died because you are being rebirthed. You're rebirthing again. And so this part of the journey is very important for you to let go, not in the way that you're just pushing things away, okay? In the way of gratitude, as in like, holy smokes, everything that you had been carrying actually led you to the journey that you're taking right now, to the new portal, to the new version of yourself, right? So there's a difference when you say thank you. Thank you for all of this. And as you're shedding, you're just really giving so much gratitude and love for that, because that was a part of you that opened up this new portal, okay? That opened up the space for you to hear what we want to call at this moment, the higher version of yourself, to open up the door. You travel into that new vibration part of yourself. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been taking this journey. You wouldn't even have been known, okay? So that's the difference. Because if the difference is like, I just want to get rid of this. Even feel the words, I just want to get rid of this, rather than like, thank you. Thank you for being here. So in this, it's a very fast journey. It's a very fast travel time. Because again, like the time and space doesn't exist, right? So it's literally up in the ethers. It already happened. But here, because we live in a more dense world, it's a little slower. So at times it can feel like, like in the belly, like when you're like really traveling very fast, and even in the roller coasters, right? And the belly goes up and down to like, it's almost like a little similar sensations. And because you're traveling so fast and everything that is there, that it's not vibing with, because every time that you're traveling, and I'm just saying, look, doing this the upward motion, so then you can get a visual rather than saying that, that other things, because sometimes it could be like, what was I less than what I'm becoming? No, it's just that you're elevating in vibrations. So as you're going up in this journey, whatever it is that is not at this vibration anymore, before you hit it, then it actually drops, okay? And then you continue, and then whatever it is again that is not at this vibration drops. So like everything is dropping down, just kind of like the leaves in fall, it's dropping and it's dropping and it's dropping. Now for this journey to actually be the smoothest, the calmest, like it's just letting it go, as in feeling the emotions that come in, as in really embracing the new you, okay? So like there's a shedding that comes, just kind of like the snake, when the snake sheds the skin, and then when it sheds the skin, there's raw skin before the new skin comes in, right? So like things could feel really sensitive. Imagine if you didn't have your skin and it's like, oh shoot, that hurts, right? So it's like the same thing. You might be very sensitive and very vulnerable and very like, you want to respond, but that's okay, honor that that's where you are. That doesn't mean that you have to do it. You have control over your actions, but knowing that you are in this journey and knowing that you're about to hit this level that you haven't quote unquote been there before, because you absolutely have. Otherwise you wouldn't be making this journey, okay? You're re-welcoming yourself. The self that is already there is kind of like, waiting excited to re-meet you, okay? But so, as you're like letting go of that and just saying thank you for all of this, then the journey becomes so much easier, so much smoother. Now, if you're holding on to these things, okay, this is the point where it can actually feel so much and so heavy and so dense, and even to the point that you're like, I don't even know what's going on. When the mind gets in the way and the mind begins to tell you all these silly things, that like you're not good enough and whatever it is. Why does that happen? I'm talking about this just transition of the journey, okay? It's happening because you're elevating, but at the same time, you're holding on to that. So again, like Maria, hermosa. At the same time, so I was talking about the leaves falling, okay? So these layers of you are falling. But imagine that in the moment, in the motion of falling, you're holding on to them. You're like, oh, no. So then the travel becomes heavier. It becomes heavier and also slower, because imagine if a plane became heavier and heavier and heavier as it went from point A to point B. So it will need more fuel. It probably will need more like a bigger motor, or who knows, I'm not a technician of all these things. I'm just like putting things out there and hearing what comes through. So it's the same thing. Your portal, your own traveling device is saying like, we need to let go of all these things for this travel to be lighter, smoother, and as fast as it could be without any kind of suffering whatsoever. This is the point of trusting. So this is when it really, the being is like, yes, we got this 1,000%, because you are the trust itself. And now when the ego gets in the way, when the mind gets in the way, it's like, oh, no. I can't get rid of that. I can't get rid of that. And this comes from the self-sabotaging pattern, because that pattern says you're not good enough to go into this new level, that you're not good enough to experience a deeper part of yourself. You're not good enough to whatever it is, the story that comes in. Because the part of you that doesn't believe in yourself, the part of you that says like you continue to suffer, you need to suffer, hasn't made peace with the past. Hasn't really like looked at the past and say, it happened how it needed to happen. And so, because that hasn't happened fully, okay, it doesn't mean that you haven't done that at all. But like, because it fully hasn't happened and it hasn't appreciated that the past actually opened up the door for this portal, for this new way of living, then is grabbing onto these things, and it's making the journey heavier, it's making the journey denser, it's making like the releases be just so intense and so painful, and headaches and not being able to sleep and anxiety and whatever it is that comes up to the surface. Okay, so now know, okay, that is normally what happens. You know, any other things that are a little different could happen as well, but this is your journey. And you have been calling upon this journey. The portals were opened because you called upon them. A portal doesn't open if you don't call upon them. Okay? And that's the most important thing. You call upon this portal. The portal knew that you were ready for it and was open and literally opened up the road, as in like lit up the road. Because that portal is already you. Because in the ethers, in the energetics, it already had happened. It's just waiting, you know, for like the denser part in the way of you to come back home, you know, one part of home, because you continue to do all these kinds of travels. So here, you know, just like feel out what's going on in your being. And like if you need to rest, you know, goodness, I invite you to rest. I've been resting since like Monday or Sunday, you know, because like I feel this travel. And now for those of you that are very aware that you're doing this journey and feeling it, it might really be a sensation that like you're just traveling really fast. And that I was saying before, that like the sensation of like being in a roller coaster that is just like, and that's okay, you know? You don't need to, I'm gonna change my words. Do what you need to do to take care of yourself, okay? But know again that because you're feeling that so fast, it's because there's no resistance within your being. There might be something slightly, you know, but you're aware of it and you're like, okay, let's let it go. But it will happen and you will get there, you know. So, and again, it's a very similar thing about being very vulnerable, very open, and just imagine, okay, like if you've seen any like movies of space, right? When they're going super fast and to get out of the atmosphere and whatever it is in the universe, you know, sometimes they're holding on like this, you know, and they're like have their eyes closed and concentrating on their breathing. It's just very similar, you know. Movies have actually something they're very real, that they make us believe that it's not real, but it comes from somewhere, okay, and it comes from a personal experience and some kind of vision that somebody has had. And so this is something very similar that is happening as you're traveling from what we can call point A to point B. And as you're doing this and you're traveling fast, hold on. Hold on, you know? And how do you hold on? You hold on by being present. You hold on by rooting yourself here, okay? Here. It's not like the new earth is not here. The new earth is here, okay? You're just like going higher up in the vibrations, which meaning that you will still be in this planet, but your vibrations will be elevated and you'll be able to tune in more to the other ones that are also at the same vibration. And the ones that are in a lower vibration, they're still here, and once in a while you will see them around. It's not a different earth, okay? But here is the point where you have the opportunity one more time to fully trust where you're heading, okay? Fully trust where you're heading. The surrender, that trust of like, I know I have this. I know I can do it. Because again, going back, like, why else are you here if you cannot do it, you know? You're not here because you're not magical and you don't have the power. You're here because you chose to go back into that power that never left you. Just things were cluttered around you. And now as all those clouds are being removed, you can actually tune into that. And this journey into the new portal, the new version of yourself, that is the highest version of yourself so far, is actually helping you to do all this. Because in the opposite end is preparing, you know? It's preparing your arrival. So imagine when a goddess and a god, let's call it like king or queen, goes back into its realm that is deeply, deeply loved, there's a celebration that happens. There's a celebration because everybody else missed them. And so this is what's happening. The preparation there is really like getting excited and putting everything in place. So when you arrive in your new destination, everything goes smooth as it can be. So then you celebrate, you feel a celebration within you, like, yes, I made it, and I'm sure that you might have that sensation already there, like, ooh, I made it. Yes, because again, it has already happened. So in the journey is just like the trusting that you're getting there, because you can tune in into that part of you that is saying you already made it. And so just like be in the journey, So like, again, if you're traveling from one country to another country, right? And maybe you're scared of the flight, or maybe you're not. You're just there patiently, right? It's not like you're like telling the pilot, like, dude, slow down, or like, dude, do this. Like, you're there fully trusting that eventually you'll get to that destination. There's like, maybe some of you actually have that in the head. They're like, oh shit, what if something happens? But most of the time, it's like, it's a given, You buy this ticket and it's like, okay, you're going to take me from this point A to this point B. Once I get there, I'll have so much fun and all the whatever. That trust is there. So you're trusting somebody else outside of yourself, and you cannot trust your own being that is super duper intelligent. It is just leading the way. So, this is like a really important inquiry, because it is you the one driving. It is you the one driving. It is you that is driving your own mechanism, and you, the one that is waiting for you. Like, again, the newer version of yourself, more empowered, more in tune. And so if you can trust somebody else driving a plane, flying a plane and taking you to another destination, can you trust yourself in this journey within yourself? And the answer is yes. The answer is yes. Of course you can. And you already do. It's just, again, the stories in the mind, right? So again, going back into the heaviness of the journey and slowing down that flight, if we want to call it that, we can call it that. Make peace with the past. Make peace with the past. And just know, everything happened. Everything happened for you to be aware at this moment right now, that you are making that flight, that leap of faith. And it's okay, it's okay if emotions arise. We're coming into, tomorrow's the last day of 2021. How much longer are you gonna keep resentment and maybe even anger towards your past and others? Because that is self-sabotage. That is telling yourself that you cannot do this. That is like really shorting up the energetic channels for you to feel your divine love and your own power and your strength and your confidence and your magic in the form of your gifts. So how much longer would you keep telling yourself that you're not good enough for all these things? How much longer are you going to put a pause to your own journey? How much longer are you going to continue to be in the cycle? How much longer? And then if the, which I totally hope, if the answer is like, I'm done with that, amazing, beautiful. Take a moment to honor that and have that come from the heart. Have that say like, that sucked. And all those emotions happen and it was horrible. There's nothing wrong saying that, because your emotions are so valid. Your emotions are so valid. Yes, it happened. Yes, it sucked. Yes, it hurt. And everything else that came with it. It's okay to say that. But then know that once you are just saying like, okay, I'm done. I'm done sabotaging myself. I'm done punishing myself, because that's really what's been happening, okay? And I get it in my own journey as I can, because I did that for years upon years. And this is why I'm telling you this. So when you make peace with that and you accept it and let go of the anger and the frustration and the pointing fingers at others, and take responsibility for your own life, knowing that you are the one that creates these things. Yeah, you co-create other things with many people, but this is your life. So it's the one that is you punishing yourself and you telling yourself over and over and over again that you're not good enough. So if you're saying that, you also have the power within yourself to say enough, enough. And so when you say that, then the journey becomes lighter. Because then as the things are falling off you, and again, they're falling off you because you're so ready, As these things fall off you, you're no longer holding on to them. You're not trying to bring them up with you. You're just dropping them. And then watching them drop and being so excited for yourself, because you're like, yes, I did it. And again, you have already done it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in this journey from this portal to the other portal. You have already done it. Now believe that you've done it. Believe that you can actually let go of the past. Again, in a way of like, thank you for opening up this doorway for myself, rather than just saying, okay, whatever, I forgive you. Again, there's a difference right there. When it really comes from that space of surrender. And you don't need to understand everything at this moment, just with that intention. Again, intention is your access point. So just with that intention that you're ready to let that go. You're ready to stop sabotaging yourself and whatever it is that happened. We all do it. And just like the point of access is the awareness, And it's okay, forgive yourself, because again, we all do it. We come into this planet with so many patterns that are already here going around us, and that's okay, that's okay. We all do it. Accepting it is a part of evolving, awareness. And then that way you can actually be like, okay, cool. Thank you for the awareness. I'm choosing me, choose you. I'm choosing me. And I'm letting go of this past that harmed me. I'm letting go of like the pattern of harming myself because whatever I did in the past or whatever was done to me in the past. So then I can evolve. And then I don't need to carry all that into the new journey. Because here's the thing. If you continue to carry that, you eventually will get to that destination a little bit slower. But once you get there, okay, to the new portal, the new version of yourself, okay, then it's not going to be such a massive celebration. There will still be a celebration, but there will be a heaviness. Have you ever been into what's this called, like a birthday party, and rather than being like, oh, like alive and stuff, there's like this heaviness in the air, and there's just like, oh, I don't even know I'm here. So that's the difference, So that's the difference. You can either get to the new version of yourself as like super excited, be like, yes, I got this. Let's really like redo all these things and whatever it is that you're creating, Or like, oh, I feel that I'm here, but at the same time I don't, and I feel so heavy in myself. So this is the difference, This is the difference. And however you get there, because you always get there, however you get there is your choice. Is your choice. And again, going back into the intention, okay? Your intention is the access point. What is your intention? Really feel this out. What is your intention? And for those of you that are actually like super committed and you're traveling and it's just like, you're just holding on, like just be prepared. Be so prepared because there's a massive celebration coming through. And what I mean about a celebration is like, yes, you will feel this new you birthing, this new you coming through. Your skin, as like I was saying, like the snake, will come out and you will not be hurting. But at the same time, there's so many projects coming in. Things are just attracting, like you're a magnet. You're attracting all these things, and it will be like an amazing part of your journey Okay, so like all these desires that you've been like putting out there, the seeds that you've been putting out there are like coming into manifestation in that version of yourself. So it's a massive celebration. It's a massive celebration. So as you are traveling, just like totally, you know, begin to celebrate, and just like, yes, you know, however you do this, maybe you just relax a little, maybe you go to nature, maybe you take a bath, maybe you dance, whatever, maybe you spend time with friends, whatever it is that you do, you know, begin to celebrate, because you're already celebrating out there, you know, you're already celebrating out there. And it's such an amazing time to be right here, you guys. Such an amazing time. Such an amazing time. Once you get there, the journey continues to go higher and higher. Even if there's moments where you like kind of come down, if you feel it that you're coming down, it's not gonna be as heavy as it once were, because we're letting go of all these things. You're letting go of so many heavy things. And again, the key thing here is to make peace with the past. Make peace with the past. You know, write down something that you're letting go. Do it in a ceremony stance and burn it. Watch it burn. Feel it within you. It comes from that space within you. It's not as in like, oh yeah, let it go. You know, it's just like, feel it. Feel it. Feel the intention so deeply, like it's you, because it really is you. But like, feel it with all of you, your core. Feel it. And allow that intention to really take you into that journey of like self-exploration. And the in-between space, allow that intention to soften everything that is coming off, and just enjoy it, because truly is one of a kind. You will not experience that ever again, because then the other journey will be different, and the other transition, you know. And enjoy it. This life is about enjoyment. This life is about happiness. And you're doing it. So now is the time to believe that you're doing it. Believe that you can, because you absolutely can. Just believe. Just like you believed before you came here, before having this human experience, you believed. There was nothing in you that had a doubt whatsoever. Otherwise you wouldn't be here. You believed and you made it happen. You believed and you walked. You believed and you spoke. You believed and you saw. You believed and you felt. You believe and everything in your life happened. Okay? Yes, trust. Trusting. This is like the big thing. Trusting. And you got this. And you got this. And you already done it. This is like the most magical thing, you know? We have already done this. You have already done it. All you have to know is like tune into that, believe it, and go into the journey. Go into the journey. It's so magical, you guys. It's so magical. And then it will just be like a new way of living, because your eye is opening up even more. There's so many components of the eye. So part of the eye opens up for you to like feel something or get some visions, and then another part opens up, and another part opens up, until like it's open to the point that you can see it all. You can see it all, you can feel it all, and that's where confidence comes in. When you have that confidence in you, that you're just walking in your journey and nothing can stop you, because you have that trust within yourself. It's because you know. You know that you will make it. You know that you will make it because it already happened, and because there's something in you that says, and because you see it. The eye sees it. And then you go with it. It's so important. This is so important. So take care of all these things, you know? Like tune in to the eye. The eye is a part of you that is also like connecting with you. Everything in your system speaks. Everything in your system speaks. When you open up the channel of communication, it talks. Just like when you have a conversation with somebody else, you know, starts with like, hey, what's up? How are you doing? Whatever else that you say. And then the other one replies if it's like vibrating with you, right? This is already vibrating with yourself, because it's you. And it's just waiting for you to open up the communication channel. So be like, hey, I'm ready to see more. Show me, you know? Because it's all there. It's all there. And it sees it all. It sees it all. And this is why at times you know without knowing how you know. How magnificent is that? How magnificent is that? Yes. Celebrate, we're all doing this together. It's so amazing, you guys. It's so, so amazing. So I'm celebrating you for everything that happened in your journey, and to let you into this point, for you to be even more aware of whatever is going to happen and arrive in what we call this new year. There is no separate from this. It's still your journey, and it builds up and it builds up, and it opens up a bigger space for something else. And of course, I'm celebrating myself for all this journey too. I'm celebrating all of us, because we are oneness as a whole. We're doing all this together. If we wouldn't have been doing this, if part of us did not trust, I wouldn't be here if, like, during the most intense part of my Kundalini awakening, I did not trust. Who knows where I would have been? But so, like, that trust is the key. Making peace with the past and knowing that you're already there. You're already there. Just allow life to take you in that wonderful journey of self-discovery, rediscovery, remembrance, and just enjoy. Just enjoy. Have fun too. It's not all about being serious. Have fun. Have a lot of fun. Ooh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. And let me tell you that, like, I woke up this morning like, oh my gosh, I really feel like I am, like, traveling so fast. Like, my belly's like, whoa. And, like, totally, like, dreams with dragons and all these things, because they're speaking. There's different portals opening up with all these magical beings, and they're not just archetypes, they're part of us, and we can call upon them as well. So if something comes to you and you're curious about it and you feel it, call upon it, because it's, again, opening up the channel of communication with you. So much love to you also, love. Yeah. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So this Sunday, the first new moon of 2022, I'm having a New Year's prosperity class. It's $22. We're doing Kundalini yoga for 90 minutes. Well, there's teachings at the beginning, and then we'll go into the practice. And so, like, as I've been explaining before, prosperity is already you. You're already prosperous. Okay? It's just that, like, at times we have all these clouds around ourselves that we cannot see it and feel it. So this is what we're doing. We're cleansing the energetic channels for you to go back into feeling your abundant self, your prosperous self. And if you are ready to really dive deeper into this, to really get to know yourself, to really discover your gifts, let go of ancestral karma, and whatever it is that you're carrying, send me a message. I still have openings for the 4-month that I'm doing a group course called Elemental Alchemy, which is work with the elements, and it's all alchemy, changing a version of yourself as you're making peace and integrating things and welcoming the new self. So we start on February 2nd for that. Send me a message. If there's anything else I can assist you with, I'll gladly do it. It's such an honor to be here with you, and I love doing this. So I love you, love you, love you. Have a wonderful celebration of yourself. And honestly, like, 2022 is the best year yet. Put that in there and in here. 2022, well, he already knows it. 2022 is the best year yet of your life, of our life, of my life. And go into it with that mentality. Go into it with that mentality. That way there's nothing else, and declare it. 2022 is the best year yet of my life, and allow that magic to happen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll see you soon. Ciao, peace.